Album Review, the podcast where four totally unqualified guys review a different album every week in the hope of broadening our knowledge of music. However, we are easily swayed off topic and have no real idea what we are talking about. Today's album is Panic at the Disco, Death of a Bachelor.
This album, what did I think about this album?
What did I think about?
Who picked this album?
Denver did.
I picked this album.
It was you. Oh
It
shit,
was
that means
I.
it's me next.
Oh, Joe's prepped. This album
Yeah, it was solid.
is...
Just solid.
It's-
Nothing else.
All right, Will, calm down.
Halo.
What happened before the album review stays before the album. You leave him alone.
You joke, but one of my notes on a song is solid song.
There we go.
Ah, there
That's
we
how
go.
he explains everything now. Yeah, it's solid.
You know, it's solid.
Exactly
well-rounded.
what I expected.
This album it's just amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
Isn't it, people?
Well,
Yes!
I don't know.
Shut up, Will.
I feel like
It's solid.
this album was the start of Brendan Urie's greatness.
Disagree with that.
The start. I'd say
Yes.
I would argue and say this is the
Nah.
peak of his greatness.
Nah,
No,
It's not the
that's-
start.
I'm talking mainstream, not people who
Actually
go,
like them.
I'm from.
yeah. Actually like them. I listen
Like, in
to
terms
the
of,
old
like,
Panic.
For my personal opinion, every other Panic album prior to this, solely each album had more good songs on it that I'd listen to. And this is the first one where, like, I really liked every song on the album. And then, obviously, the next album afterwards, I liked every song.
I was going to say, you
don't-
gave the last album a 10, didn't you?
I don't know if that's necessarily true. Or are you talking about in terms of album review as opposed to albums in general that they've made?
What do you mean?
Well, there is an album in between Vices and Virtues and Death of a Bachelor, which I would argue is one of their worst ones.
What, Too Weird to Live?
Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die.
I think that's a good. That was the album that got
See,
me
no,
into
I-
Panic at the Disco.
I was going to say, I like that album.
Nah.
Well, I like because I was nearly going to pick that instead of this one because I've not heard that album as much. But like that album, that album had about 4 songs on it I quite liked. Whereas prior to that, often like there was only like 1 or 2 songs I really liked on a Panic album.
So it's very hurtful.
Until Death of a Bachelor and Play for the Wicked, which I almost like all of them. And I think it's like a good transition point of those because, I mean, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die was like his first one where all the old members had left and he basically did it on his own.
Whoa. Don't forget Mr. Percussion. He's still in the band.
Mr. Percussion?
Yeah, the guy who does the percussion, he's like the only member that stayed with him since the start.
No,
that's
he
not
left
true.
before Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die.
No. Did he actually?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
It looks like
That,
you looks like
the
you
Vice and
haven't done
Virtues
any,
album was the last one he was on.
So you
That's
haven't
nice.
done any stuff there, Joe.
The guitarist stayed with him, and then he's gone now as well.
Well, wasn't he a pedo or something?
I don't know. That's a big accusation for something you don't know.
what
you just
Say, is he a pedo?
I'm pretty sure he's a nonce.
He's gone. That's how all band members leave these days. I found that to be a pedo.
Can you imagine that? Just that's just the conversation in every workplace. Like I leave Tesco and they're like, "Oh, where did that Joe guy go?" "I'm pretty sure it was a pedo.
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure he left because it was a
Got sacked, didn't he? Pedo.
Every person.
So yeah, I feel like this is the start of his greatness, and I feel like it's that building inner confidence in himself that he can do it alone.
I think you're
without
jinxing
any
it,
other
Denver,
members.
because you're not ready for his metal album that's coming out next year.
Well, surely that just shows more confidence that he's willing to just
That's true.
completely
Just fucking ruin everything he's ever
ruin
done.
it. Because also, like, I feel like from this album onwards, because the most recent album actually reached like the mainstream, I would say, not just like fans of this
Wow,
genre.
Lynx FM, you know?
Links FM
That's how
play
you
High
know.
Hopes all the time.
They love it. They fucking love
I
it.
Write Sins Like Tragedies was a mainstream.
You say I'm on about mainstream in terms of like across all age groups.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I Write Sins Like Tragedies was played on like Radio 1, but that's a much like younger audience, really. I'm talking if Links FM are playing it, it's mainstream.
It's High Hopes on repeat.
It was played today.
Well, is that or Kid Laroi?
Kid Leroy's played all the time.
I don't
I
know
am
why.
so sick of High Hopes, though. It's played fucking constantly.
I am a bit sick of it.
I agree.
But it's still a great song though, and I feel like this album, when I would listen to it in the car, I was like, oh, I've heard all these so much. But when I'd review them, it kind of, because I knew the songs so well, I would sort of look into them a bit more, like including like the lyrics and things. And you realise how well written a lot of songs are in terms of like they're not just nonsense words. Like every line has actually been thought of and has a meaning behind it, rather than just this sounds good. Although having said that, when I was reading through some of it, Brendan Urie himself said that some of them he originally just wrote as, oh, that sounds cool, but then later had meaning to it.
Best line on the album, I'm not as thinky as you drunk I am. Best line on the album. That's great. It's so clever.
I feel like a lot of the songs they're fast, upbeat, and they have a big like a big feel to them, which are like the typical songs I usually like a go-to for me. Amazing vocals, great lyrics. I feel like there's something on the album for everyone in terms of Impossible Year is one of my mum's favourite songs. And she doesn't even know really who Panic at the Disco
She's a
are.
massive bitch.
I think it's right. I tried to.
It's got something for everybody.
I tried to introduce my mum to Panic at the Disco years ago, and now every single song I play, she thinks it's Panic at the Disco. Like I'll put on like a metal song. She goes, "I like this. Is this Panic at the Disco?"
Mine does the same with Post Malone. So is that Post Malone?
Yep.
Gross.
Mine does the same. It's Panic or 1975.
That's crazy.
Every
My
song.
mum doesn't speak to me.
My dad thinks
Wow.
I sound like Brendan Urie.
Your dad is deaf.
I also like how a lot of the songs because this album was songs from this album was the first time I'd heard Panic at the Disco, and I thought he always came across as really arrogant.
You're
And, like, a bit-
still technically right.
But I've seen like enough of him, like either interviews or when he used to do a lot of Twitch streaming, to like think that he's not actually like that, and that especially when watching things where he'd like explain like the lyrics behind some of the songs, you realize it's just like a persona, or he just loves like the showman aspect of it. So he likes to almost put himself in that mindset. The song "Death of a Bachelor" is very like Frank Sinatra inspired. And that
Yes.
also made me think that a lot of the quite a few of the songs in this album, I feel like they could have come out in the 60s and they would still fit, even though they still have that modern feel to them. I feel like you could say that they were a much older song and you'd be like, oh, I believe that. Very orchestral sounding songs, a lot of them. I think that also makes them feel older, a lot of them. And because of the length of the album, I feel like I'm left wanting more. But whether that would then start to ruin it, I don't know. I feel my only criticism of the album is that even though I love all the songs, the weaker songs are all bunched together. So when listening to it in order, it's always like, here's that little duller patch.
Do you think that's the end of the album? Because I agree.
Yes, it's even though I still like those songs, and when looked into like the meaning of them, I think they're very clever. But they are all together.
I think
So,
this
like, if
might
they
be
were
a
spread
Joe
out a bit
Midwood
better.
controversial review for me then, boys.
But I think the end's-
Impossible Year is a fantastic finish, though.
It is. My mum
And I
likes
do
it.
love that. I do love that, and I think it's quite apt with the most recent like pandemic and things.
Apt.
What?
Fitting.
Because you think it's not an impossible year, or it is?
Well, it's because we've had a bit of an impossible year.
I like that analogy.
year and
cool.
a half.
Well, you know,
it's not meant
the
for
year
it.
20,
Go on.
21,
What?
Another right.
20 to 21.
Actually, not so bad. Not so much.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure the last 8 years of my life has been a write-off. So why stop now?
So do you just not class yourself as aging then?
No,
Do you
no,
still
they're all
think you're,
impossible years.
You just can't believe they happened.
No, technically, mentally, I'm still like 5. And yeah. I actually identify as 5 years old.
Nice.
Thank you. I mean,
also,
made bum in my pants.
thank you. Thank you, Aidan. Also, I feel like this is, as well as a turning point in terms of like how I thought his albums got better from this point. Like this was the start of his greatness. Also, his change in themes, which is explained in one of the songs, Death of Bachelor, actually, how it's sort of like talking about it's the end of old him and the start of newer him, because by then he'd sort of been married for a few years by that point.
Have you ever seen the the music video? I can't remember where it started, but there's it's like a sequel video, and it's in this album. I think it's what song
Emperor's
is it?
New Clothes.
Yeah, and what song was it? That it was like the music video for that.
Yeah, it's from
sequel.
Mrs. Gospel.
Yeah,
and then before that, it's Saturday Night.
That's it. I think that's really cool how it shows his
cool,
transition as well. But it's like,
and they're not in order.
Kind of no, but it kind of ties into that because it shows like his different sides and like.
Yeah, and those are all albums done on his own.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Which, like I say, the older ones do have like odd songs that I really like, but especially the most recent two, I pretty much like all of them.
I'm interested to know like how he writes all the music because like it used to be just guitars and drums, right? And now it's very.
Yeah, and paper.
Thanks, Will. But
he's a tablet guy.
You know what I mean?
He's
though?
not
Like,
a tablet guy.
does
He's old
he-
school.
does
He's
he
been
sit
making
down-
music since 2005. He's
Does he
pen and
like-
paper.
Does he? No, what I'm saying is, does he sit down and like write all
No, he
these
probably
songs,
stands
like,
up, Joe.
For fuck's sake.
Just makes it up on the spot.
No, what I'm saying is, like,
Sat
does
on
he
a
have a
stool,
production
mate.
team behind him helping him, or does he?
No,
do
they're
all this in his
probably
bedroom,
next to him,
you know?
right?
He
Writing it
writes
down with
them
him.
all. Well, since this album, he writes them all in his house. He has like his own studio.
He can't
so
actually
writes
read
them
or
all
write,
there.
so he just gets his mum to
It's
do it.
kind of
sake.
weird.
He doesn't even do the lyrics. His wife does that.
Which one? The one he cheated on or the new one?
I've never met three
He
people.
didn't cheat on his wife, did
His
he?
wife from the nonce. Yeah?
I've
Sorry,
never
Joe's
met three
the
people
ones.
more frustrated to have a normal, straight conversation with.
Well,
than
that's
you
'cause
three.
we're
What's wrong with
gay.
being gay?
Sorry.
You heard?
Sorry, I just got that. Nice.
I don't even know what was said, I'm not going to lie.
Joe said he can't have a normal, straight conversation with us.
And then it was like, what's wrong with being gay?
what's wrong with being gay?
Ah. Joe,
Clever,
you are
right?
homophobic.
You
I'm
actually
not.
You are gay hating
Literally-
Nazi.
Gay
I don't
hating
know what-
Nazi.
Gay hating Nazi, that's
It's
Joe.
literally not me.
Talking of gay hating Nazis,
Your least
in the
favourite.
House of Memories,
Oh, yeah.
which is my least favourite.
That's fair.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Just even though my notes for that song are still great, it just lacked something that the other not as great songs had.
Which song was that?
House of Memories.
Ah, interesting.
Oh, an earthquake's just happened in Joe's room.
What happened there?
Gravity of the situation.
I dropped my glass Coke.
Joe? Oh, very good. The gravity
Nice.
of the situation.
Situation.
Wow.
It pulled the Coke off the table.
Man, rift apart. Don Loco.
Solid
But
game.
top three is really difficult because there's like 8 songs that I like almost equally on this, and it's just really difficult. But I'll just blitz through them. Third is "Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time," mainly made great from the last night out.
Cubes?
the last night. Yeah, Cubes when it
Cubes!
came on
The metal
for
nightclub.
your 21st birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out to
So
our
that song
brothers
always
at
reminds
Cubes.
you. Second favorite is Hallelujah. I love the like build it has in that song, and then grand like big chorus. And then my favorite is LA Devotee
Knew
with
it.
its amazing hook.
Knew it.
And it's just there's just so many great songs on this album that I just love to listen to it. It's only hurt very slightly by the order of the songs, in my opinion. Like if those worst songs just weren't bunched together, it
Okay.
wouldn't feel like such a dull spot.
I feel like this is rocking on spoiler territory, but did you prefer the High Hopes album or this album?
High Hopes.
You prefer the High Hopes, and
Because that didn't have any dull spots.
Not only
did you-
that, he
but did
rated
you-
it at 10.
but the songs you did like in this album, did you prefer the better songs in this album as opposed to the good songs in the High Hopes album?
Oh,
Or are they on a level playing field?
I,
You know?
I also just feel like the
I
first...
think they're on a level playing field.
No.
in
No,
my
I wasn't
opinion.
fucking asking you the question, was I? Ian?
The point being is the first question you asked him would mean that if he did answer this album was better, you would have to rate it an 11.
It could only be the same.
This is true.
No, but I like them as much. I mean, Panic at the Disco is a funny one because in terms of how I've liked them over the years. Like, I knew a few songs when the only time I've seen them. I only knew a few of their songs. The rest of them I thought they're okay. And then I remember we did it for album review, the most recent one, and I just like loved it all and thought it was amazing. And then since gone back. Well, actually, no. Having said that, we did the Vices and Virtues before we did the newer one, didn't we? And there was a few songs I liked on there, but I think I only gave the album a 7. Like, I thought they were good quality songs, but not too many of them grabbed me. Whereas the latest album, like, every song I thought was incredible. And then since then, having looked back at more of their songs, I've started to like a bit more of their older stuff, but most of it, I just like most of the stuff in the last 2/3 albums, and then just odd songs here and there.
By the way, I have some information about the paedophile guitarist. So this happened in 2018. This happened. It was Kenny. That's his name.
Kenny.
This must be like a touring member. actually.
I think so. Yeah. It
He's
says
not officially had any
Yeah.
band members since.
I was going to say, it just says he's no longer performing because of a personal matter. And then someone says he sent him a picture to a 16-year-old girl. There you go.
Nice, what a guy.
And that was it. And then, but apparently I typed in on Google, Panic at the Disco pedo guitarist.
What's the first thing that came up?
As you do.
And I've had a few, actually.
The first thing that comes up is actually Brendan Urie being accused of sexual harassment on
Surprised
Twitter.
me. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
It can be, but I feel like in the courtroom they'd be like, "Oh, Brendan, do you deny the allegations of harassment?" And he goes, "No, that can't be the case because harass meant a lot to me." Nice, thank you guys.
I feel like it's difficult for celebrities now, though, isn't it? Because yes, some of them do exploit and do awful things, but then at the same time, if say they had one encounter with like a fan or something, say they touched them, like as in not in an inappropriate way, just in a greeting way, they could easily have claims like, "I didn't allow this. This is rape."
You're going down a bit of a dangerous rabbit hole.
You are here.
There's
What I'm getting
there's a
at
lot
with
of
this-
controversy around that kind of thing nowadays.
This is why Keanu is big brain.
He just never touches anyone.
He never touches anyone.
Yeah.
You ever seen pictures of Keanu Reeves with fans? Or with anyone actually, not just fans.
Yeah.
He holds his hands away from them.
It was like when we saw Against the Current, and I was like really scared. Like I didn't want to like offend Chrissy, so I was like doing the hover hand thing. I was like, it was so weird.
Yeah, but they made a big thing at the start of that before you met them of you can touch them.
Yeah, I know, but I was like,
remember?
But
You're some
what-
kind of pussy. You got to grab her ass, bro.
Yeah, but have you seen? I literally look like the creepy guy
So
101.
babe. Real Chad move. Just going and grab her ass, you know?
So yeah, because the manager did this like before we met them. Their manager did like a talk to us about like what was and wasn't allowed. Imagine you just put your hand up. So is ass grab on the menu?
Apparently, he was saying that people have proposed to her there and then, haven't they?
Yeah.
And I was like, please don't. He was like, please, no one propose to Chrissy. She will
Joe
say no.
like puts his ring away like, damn it.
Well, no, Joe was more annoyed because obviously he didn't know. He would have brought the ring if he'd known.
No, I don't know. No, I was more annoyed at the fact that when we were sat there and you said something really not funny and she thought I said it.
She thought it was you.
And she looked at me like, oh, what did you say? And I was like,
I didn't say anything.
I mean, you do look like an unfunny person.
thank you.
You're welcome. So, back to
So yeah, that's my review in 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Nice.
Fantastic.
great work.
Who's next, boys?
It's the best review.
Aiden.
Thank you.
You got a speech?
No, not this time. I just think that I'll start off with something. In the words of Panic at the Disco's Emperor's New Clothes.
Ding dong.
Hang
The
on.
words of Ding Dong.
But in all seriousness, yeah, it's a pretty great album. Like, if you hyper-analyze some of the songs and compare them to others, you do find some things that are lacking. But that's just me being really picky. Like, I was really listening to it on my final listen. I was like full blast going like, that bit didn't sound amazing, like 3 minutes, 10 seconds in.
It's like, this is one of the few ones where I like read all the lyrics to every song, and I think that's because you know the song so much. You're like trying to find extra stuff.
Yeah, it is exactly that. Because for the most part, it's enjoyable and makes me hyped.
It is hype songs.
Not too dissimilar to say like, I don't know, Cannibalism.
Pretty hype.
That being said, I don't know if this is the strongest Panic lineup in contrast to Vices and Virtues or Pray for the Wicked, because it has noticeably weaker songs in it, I'd say. As a side note to this, I also looked back and I looked back at what I'd rated the other albums. Okay? I know that's an unforgivable sin in the world of album review, but I did.
That's fine.
And I can say with confidence, they both need to be moved up a point.
What, you wish you rated them higher?
I definitely, especially Vices and Virtues. Because like that, I think that one's my favourite. That's a 9, I think. And then I gave Pray for the Wicked
An 8.
an 8.
You gave Pray for the Wicked.
Mm-hmm. So I'd say they both need to go up a point.
Well, Vices and Virtues you gave a 9.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm
that's a
saying.
10.
Yes, I am.
What did I give Vices and Virtues?
I've just lost it. I just had it then. Where the fuck did it go? Yeah, just keep talking. I'll find it.
Go on,
Go
Ed.
on. No, I mean, he said just go away, I'm album reviewing. Ow! Ow, I don't fucking know, get out! God.
You gave it a 9 as well, Will.
What did I give it?
How do I keep losing it so instantly the second I look away from it?
I know.
Numbers.
Because I can't remember rating it that high.
That's because you gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8. That's still pretty high.
Yeah, it scored 33, Vices and Virtues, and then Pray for the Wicked scored 35.5.
So, I mean, they're all 30s anyway.
If Aiden would have given it another point...
It still wouldn't be the highest, but it'd be pretty high.
Oh yeah, because what was...
Oh, no, yeah, it would have been the highest. 36.5.
No, because I think...
Didn't we get beaten at some point?
No, because Thingy's got 37.
Who's that?
It's Sheeran.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not going to be beaten.
Like, ever.
Yeah, it is. 4 10s.
It's not happening.
It will happen.
Well, in fact, just 3 10s and a 8.
3 10s and an 8.
But yeah, so you wish you rated the other ones even higher.
I do. But enough boring points. We'll have plenty of them when Will and Joe's reviews next. Least favourite for me was Rough. Because despite me saying that there were weaker songs in terms of compared to the other albums, when looking at it as just an album in itself, it was more difficult. So worst for me, I thought, was The Good, the Bad, and the Dirty. By no means a bad song. I just think it had the least to it. But on another day, I could change my mind.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You'll probably notice my top 3 are more reminiscent of their older stuff. So interpret that however you want.
Got you.
Good. Third favourite, Golden Days. I feel like it has so much contrast just in this song alone. I think it definitely stands out as different. And as we all know...
I love the meaning of that song.
I've seen them live, guys.
Yeah. It's a great song. Really nice. Second favourite...
I love the idea of that song of like...
Yeah.
How it's like, it's the looking forward to your best days rather than living in the past of your best days.
Wait, living in pasta.
Yeah, living in pasta is not good for you.
I love
Whereas looking forward to future pasta is better.
What's your favourite pasta?
Tagliatelle.
I feel like I like
shout.
fusilli just because I like the spinny boys.
Oh,
Like it goes best with carbonara.
have you ever seen how satisfying it is? Those machines that make the twirly pasta.
They're
It
amazing.
just gets chopped.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
I want to fuck one of them machines one day.
What, and get your penis twirled?
Well, not necessarily. It's the world's scariest game of chicken. You know?
Top 3?
Top two.
Second favourite
Oh,
was
third?
oh my god.
Oh my God, one day we'll have done this review.
Well, that's not what I mean. It's just no one ever listens to my top 3.
I am. I've got it down.
I thought I missed
it's
this.
Will and Joe.
I elaborated on
Will
it.
and Joe never listen.
I know, it's because they don't care. They're not real
To be
musicians.
honest, Joe did turn up like 20 minutes late.
You're just predictable. That's yeah.
Okay,
all right.
he's predictable.
Well,
okay,
my second
name his
favourite
top
is
two then.
Vices and Virtues, the entire album. I didn't listen to this album. God, I'm so unpredictable,
No,
Joe.
you're
Aren't I
so
different? Aren't I
you're so
different and
predictable.
quirky?
What was your third favourite?
No.
Actually die in a fire.
I want to guess what your top 2 is.
Okay, you two, since Aiden's so predictable.
His third favourite was Golden Days, Will.
Oh, okay.
Go on then, what are my top 2?
I want Joe to say what his top 2
Me?
is.
Oh, there,
Me?
go on. Yeah,
He's so predictable.
I'm so predictable.
Me?
Yes, you.
Yeah. Apparently Aiden's so predictable, so say his
Yeah.
top 3. So what's his second favourite?
House of Memories.
House of Memories. Okay, what's his favourite?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Aiden, what's your second favourite?
Well, hold up. I want to hear what Will thinks now. As
Oh,
well.
okay. I
I also think
cared about
House
his
of,
opinion.
House of Memories is second.
You reckon House of Memories? Okay.
Oh, no, actually, no. Impossible Year. Impossible
Okay.
Year.
Okay.
And then I would say, I don't think it's Hallelujah. I think
I changed mine to Hallelujah to Impossible, yeah.
Right. Okay.
For first.
LA Devotee.
Oh, what is the first one?
Favourite.
No, I know he's got a thing against it because Denver likes it so much.
What, you think I hate it because of that?
Yeah.
I don't think Aiden's that petty.
And what, you think I change it because Denver likes it?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Just-
alright then. Death of a
No,
Bachelor.
no, this is fine.
Oh,
You've picked half the album
because you
there,
can see
so-
exactly what I've put.
Death of a Bachelor, LA Devotee.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I've also just given you
Okay.
a...
You knew what I was going to give it. I told you the
Yeah,
other ones
to be
needed
fair.
to go up a point anyway.
Yeah.
But my point being is, Death of a Bachelor, right? A departure and contradiction to my overstatement, but fuck you, I don't conform to your rules, you commie pig. Alright? It just comes at you with just such a feel-good song with so much
is
energy,
great.
and it's got such a good personality. Like a rabbit or something.
What was the stuff you just said before that?
What? I'm saying that it's a departure and a contradiction to my other statement. My other statement being, you'll notice my top 3 are reminiscent of their older stuff.
Right.
I wouldn't say Death of a Bachelor is.
No, it's not.
Try and mock me again. Do it.
I
dare
wasn't
you.
mocking you. I was
That's really... What do you mean? Shut up.
I do like Death of a Bachelor, but I find it quite messy.
That's the personality part. That
I know that that's the kind of point of
You
it.
think Death of a Bachelor is messy? I think it's like one of the cleanest songs on here.
I
It's
think-
up and down all the time, and
That's the
it's-
point.
I know
That's
that's the
the
point.
showman, like
I know
Sinatra.
that's the point, but sometimes I think it's a bit. I don't know.
You just don't like it.
No, I do like the song. I love the song, but I just
I think
say
it's
I
his
do
third
find it very
favourite.
messy.
I mean, I remember when I first listened to Death of a Bachelor when it first came out, I hated it. It was like the worst song on the album by far for me.
That's so predictable.
And it grew on me so much, like after every
Like
listen.
a cancer.
Like your kids.
Exactly like cancer.
Look, alright, I don't care if it's overplayed, so is your mother, or the phrase, it's coming home. Number
I can't
one
believe LA Devotee.
was LA Devotee. Just
I didn't
unbelievably
realise you liked that
catchy,
so much.
unbelievably upbeat. It was just a nice little pitch change at the end. But bene. You know? Just great.
Ben.
Bene. Overall, I also used to panic at discos. I used to hide under the tables at costume parties and demand my mum bring me cocktail sausages. That is a true fact.
Hashtag Aiden fact.
It's just scary, you know, like going to a costume party. You don't know who's your friends. I used to always go as a dinosaur because you know dinosaurs are cool.
To bring terror.
I miss the Aiden banana costume.
That's just covered in like fucking alcohol and a little bit of blood.
A little bit of blood.
So, personally, I do. I think Vices and Virtues is his best album, personally.
Nice.
But what was I going to say? But that's like they're also, and I do still prefer the good singles on that. But then I will agree that some of their older albums has some fucking wacky, random shit thrown in it. But I feel like the past songs stood out enough to pull that through, whereas this is just solid all the way through. So
Hold up, I feel like Vices and Virtues is the thing that bridges the gap from that. How it's still like the old style, but it's got less of that like, and now a random techno breakdown in the middle of it for no reason.
I feel like this was the point at which he really started to find his own,
his self. He was ascending.
Yeah, like what he wanted to make.
Like the arch. Yeah,
that's what I was trying to say. This is where it all got like. It's like a musical. This could literally be on stage. Like, it just feels like The Greatest Showman. And...
I mean, they do perform it on stage.
Thank you, Joe.
No worries.
Wow, Joe. What the fuck, dude?
But this is the album where it really started to go that way. And obviously, it's benefited him fucking massively because it just made it more mainstream and it's more approachable for everyone. And it still bangs. It's still great. So, to say that, obviously, I like the old stuff more still is like, yeah, I do, but I do still love this, but it feels like almost a completely different like it's a different artist now anyway, whereas a lot of artists,
it's definitely his own music now, isn't it?
Whereas a lot of artists that were in that era, like the emo era, have gone like downhill, or I just feel like they've changed it too much and it's not worked. He has like massively made it work to the point, and it is now better than it's ever been for a lot of people. It's crazy that he's managed to do that.
It's paid off for him.
Oh yeah,
that he's stuck with it.
And all credit to him, like I say, because a lot of people just go the other way, and he's done better out of it. Unlike Fall Out Boy, personally, I think. But
rest in peace.
And I think his style is so unique. Like, I don't really think there's a lot of people doing what he does in a mainstream way. Like,
it's like orchestral.
Yeah,
grandness,
massively, and I do think he's top 2 in singers, in male singers for like range and everything. Up there with Bruno Mars, I'd say they're like the best.
And
currently.
Lizzo.
In men.
Yeah, that's what I said.
If you know,
I don't see gender.
Well, you know,
I just see Jay.
Their voices are, you know, but like I think, yeah, him and Bruno Mars are like. That are alive are like the best current singers in terms of range.
Who would you say is the best dead singer?
MJ.
He's not dead.
I agree with that.
You know he's not dead. Come on now, boys. Open your eyes, sheeple.
I don't know. Best dead singers. I don't listen to a lot of artists who are dead. That's the problem.
I mean, they're not really singing a lot more anymore, you know?
No, like, make some new music and I'll remember you.
I just can't believe that Will saw Green live.
Best artist who's dead?
Freddie Mercury
Juice WRLD.
had the best voice ever, I think.
Juice WRLD. He's still pumping out music somehow.
Good old Juice WRLD. It's kind of like Tom Clancy putting his name on all the games, you know?
Like, who is Tom Clancy?
I
used to think Sam Fisher was Tom Clancy.
No, Mr. Tom Clancy.
It's Tom Clancy. I've never even looked. It's Tom
dead.
Clancy.
He's dead.
Oh,
he's an author.
I remember when he died, but I thought.
Oh shit, he died in 2013.
So I didn't realise he was like a. Wasn't he like a book writer or something? I thought he directed and made the Tom Clancy games. So when he died, I was like, oh my god, the guy who made the that's no more Splinter Cell games. I was like really upset.
I mean, ironically, there still hasn't been a Splinter Cell.
No, there hasn't.
I like how you was upset that there was no games being made, not the fact that he was dead. It's quite funny
that obviously The Division came out in like 2015 or whatever it was, and I was just like, I wonder how much Mr. Tom Clancy really helped with the production of this now that he's dead. Probably not.
So like, were they just based on his novels? Is that why? Like, did he come up with like Sam Fisher?
I think he was like he was responsible for making all the IPs and stuff. Like he really loved the Ghost Recon series.
It's a bit like Sid Meier's Civilization. I don't know who Sid Meier's is.
No, I don't know who Sid Meier
Sid
is.
the Sloth.
If I had to guess, I'd say some cunty philosopher.
Okay. Sid Meier's.
Like Joe Midwood.
American programmer. Oh, it must be actually the...
No, it is actually him then. It's like Player Unknown.
he's actually the guy who makes the games.
Oh.
What about Player Unknown?
Narcissist.
You know? Well, you've played PUBG.
Oh yeah, he's the creative director of Firaxis Games. So Sid Meier's does actually run Firaxis, who makes...
I mean, when did the first
Civilization
Civ
games.
come out? It must have been like 1992 or some shit. Like an old-ass game.
Firaxis became a public company in 93. Oh no, Firaxis Games...
It might not have even been
97.
under, it might not even have been under Firaxis Games though, the first one.
No, it says it was a Microprose.
Fucking hell, we're going. This is another rabbit hole. We're going
Yeah,
deeper. Where's the conspiracies?
In 1987, he released Sid Meier's Pirates.
Yar, God, what a game! Never seen it. No idea what it is.
Crazy.
Come on, Will,
What a
hurry
guy.
up. What are you doing? Drinking? Fucking idiot.
Sorry. But yeah, it is an amazing album. Well written. Very much its own style. It's not a lot to really say. It's just fucking great. A nice comeback to listen. It's great to come back and listen to it. 'Cause it's been a long while since I have listened to it. And yeah. Third for me was Golden Days.
Hey,
What was your least favourite?
Oh, did I not say? Sorry.
You didn't.
House of Memories was my least favourite. It was between that and The Good, the Bad, and the Dirty. I think those two are like the weakest point on the album.
definitely.
Yeah, it's those two.
Because everything else I think is pretty much spot on.
Guys, I've had
See, I thought Golden Days was also a weak one, but the meaning and of that song kind of made it
yeah, but at
better.
least it had some energy as well, you know. I think I've got a controversial pick.
Oh,
Classic Joe. It's easy to say you've got a controversial pick when you'll literally know everyone else's pick.
This is what I mean. I know it's controversial now.
Usually you say it off first and then everyone
Yeah.
agrees with you and you're like, well, yes, it's not controversial.
but yeah, those two are the weak. And again, they're not bad songs. They're just noticeably weaker in an album of great songs. So it's one of them. Yeah, Golden Days is third for me. It's got like probably some of the best vocals on the album, and the best vocals he actually does. It's just insane, and yeah, it's great. Second for me, Second for me was LA Devotee.
Guess what's your favourite?
Very close to being number one, but I'm stuck between these two all the time. So it very much could have been number one.
For some reason, I always thought you guys didn't like LA Devotee, and I thought I was,
No.
Oh, it's amazing.
I remember there being something about it a couple of years ago with someone making fun of you for liking that, Denver. I remember.
It was probably you, Joe.
It wasn't me. It was.
So when you're saying it,
I thought everyone else didn't
makes
like
me
that
think
song.
it is you.
Annoyingly, whenever I think of that song, I think of Denver doing his dancing. Like, just his
Stupid
dancing.
fucking dance.
Even though I've never been out dancing to that
I
song.
know, but I don't know why. But every time that comes on, I think of you fucking drunkenly dancing.
Drunkenly.
Maybe I have drunkenly danced to it.
But
Drunkenly.
yeah, as I could say, those two, that and my favourite, I'm about to say, could have very easily been swapped at any point. Those two are by far the best they are, and that number one is Emperor's New Clothes.
Oh.
One of my one of my favourite Panic! At the Disco songs, definitely in the top 3 of their songs ever. I just remember when it came out and it was like Halloween, and I was in York in a hotel. And I listened to it like on repeat because it came out with a music video at the same time, and it was just like one of the most insane music videos I've ever seen. Like when he's like dressed up as like a devil, isn't he, or something? And it was just ace. And I remember just because of that nostalgia, it was a great time in my life as well. It's just fucking great, and ever since it's always been up there. But like I say, it is again very close to LA Devotee, but it just tops it out of nostalgia for me, I'd say. But yeah, not too much to say other than the album's just really good. Like, you've all said what I'd say anyway, so it's...
What, you not got any facts for us, sister?
No facts, because, they're boring.
Brendan Urie is pansexual.
He is.
No, I'm not laughing about him fucking cutlery. It's the Will going like, yeah, no more facts because they're boring.
Did you know Panic at the Disco was originally called Panic at the Loco? So one of them...
this joke is terrible!
One of them had to leave early to go to a disco, and they changed it to Panic at the Disco.
God, that's so stupid.
I wonder what the tribute band names for Panic at the Disco are. Like, a little less Panic at the Disco.
Oh, what? Have you not seen the... There is actually a countdown.
Worry at the Disco.
Panic at the Disco.
There is actually a thing from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Band.
Oh, I want to remember this. So, no, it was The Chase. It was on The Chase, and it was like, who sings I Write Too Much Tragedies? And it's just like, Worry at the Picnic.
Yeah,
Cover
band
names.
Come on.
Oh no. Oh no, tribute band. Panic at the Disco tribute band.
I mean, surely you'd be called, like, Worry at the Wedding.
Panic at the Disco tribute.
Hysteria at the Party.
No, this is just a guy in England who's looking in 2017 on a forum he's put about on the website joinmyband.com about.
I can't imagine there's many Panic at the Disco tribute bands.
Like how? Because let's face it, if you can sing as good as Brendan Urie to do a tribute band to it, you should probably just make your own band. Right?
Joe can.
Joe can sing like Brendan Urie.
Have you ever heard him sing "Death of a Bachelor"?
It's actually
his dad
good.
has. His dad has, and he says he's exactly like Brendan Urie.
Although Panic at the Disco themselves, I'm just reading, started off they just used to do covers of Blink-182.
Great band.
Where are you?
I'd like to hear them do covers of Blink-182.
They probably do covers.
Surely it'd be like Panic at the Party.
Told you, Worry at the Wedding, Hysteria at the Garden.
Cover Bohemian Rhapsody, don't they, when they're live every time?
Yeah, they must actually have like licensing for that.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury actually rose from his grave to be like, yes, Brandon.
He actually rewrote the whole thing, didn't he? Like, he actually, like all of it, all the sound. It's not Queen's sound. It's his.
My sound.
Because I saw a thing on Twitch when he was talking about redoing it and like how insane, like so many tracks are on that song.
I just suppose that you don't technically own words or the collection of which they are placed in. Can you sing any song in any order and make it your own?
And just
I'm actually not massively keen
change
on
the pitch.
I'm actually not massively keen on their cover of Bohemian Rhapsody. I think it's a bit.
What about Kanye's?
That's
the best version.
It's like the Drake yes, Drake no meme. Drake no to Brandon Urie. Drake yes to Kanye.
Do you think you could completely rip off someone else's album, but if you make it all backwards and then just have a note on the album that says play in reverse and then it'll actually be forwards?
What is your brain? For fuck's sake.
What?
Just Joe, what's
but
your
that would be so horrible to listen to.
I mean,
all the songs would literally
you wouldn't be able to stream it because you can't play songs backwards. So only the true fans can listen to it because they can put it on a CD player and hit it back and play it backwards.
It's like,
wait, do CDs play backwards?
It's like that guy who
actually no, they don't. Cassette only.
I like that guy who takes all the vowels out of all the words. Like I showed Ada, it's like that. So you take all the vowels out of all the words in a song. So you got like the Panic at the Disco. Yeah, I dined with the daddy and I dine. It sounds like that.
So you basically you're from Norfolk.
Yeah.
Oh, Will's just like, whoa, wait a minute.
Well, wait a minute.
Hold up, Juke Nukem.
That's how he responded.
He just sounds like when Will talks, all I hear is big man muscles, Sylvester Stallone. if he got punched and knocked out in the second round. Adrian! No, wait, Aidan!
Sorry.
My nose is bleeding, Aiden.
I can't see anything!
Is this why you got me that glass?
Yes. What is your glass say?
Joe?
Hello. This is a very vanilla thing to say.
Vanilla.
Very
I'm a
vanilla.
very vanilla
Very
person.
vanilla. But I think Brendan Urie is the best vocalist of this generation.
Bruno Mars.
No.
It depends what you mean by this generation.
Yeah, what about
Like,
Lizzo?
as in, have you heard Ariana Grande?
She is very good too. Or a male vocalist then.
What about James
Male
Arthur?
vocalist. I think he's better than I think he's got the best range.
How old
He's
is
got
he?
the
Sam
best
Smith's
tone.
up there as well. Sam Smith's an amazing singer.
But
But he's not a man.
There are they.
That's a very good point. I just think he is. I think he's incredible. This is one of the long lines of albums.
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
Yes! The rumour come out. Does Bruno Mars is gay?
So, I'm just googling how old Bruno Mars is. Oh, they're basically the same age. One's 34, one's 35.
They could kiss.
Oh,
They could.
I respect him because he's just working up. He's getting everyone in on it. Right? He's getting all the mainstream. So he comes out with this metal album and he gets everyone into metal.
Will you shut up about that fucking metal album?
This is the Brendan Urie plan.
God. Every time.
He's gonna do it.
It's a grand plan. He finally makes himself mainstream and big,
Yeah.
And then ruins it.
and then ruins
Nah,
it.
gets everyone into it.
No.
Have you actually heard the metal song that he brought out?
I don't care.
Yes.
Unofficially, it's
I quite
actually
like
quite
it.
good. It's actually
I
quite
like
good.
it because it's maybe terrible. I don't know. I like it just because it's Brendan Urie.
I like
And
it.
it's him just shouting basically. In the
Yeah, and then he goes, "Ah!" and it's pretty cool. Anyway.
This album.
Maybe a
Anyway.
cult thing.
Anyway, this is 100% my favourite Panic at the Disco album.
Nice.
Wrong.
Wow, just because it has just every song is great. Maybe with the exception of one. Whereas all the other albums have the sprinkled bangers. This is just every song is just so independent and unique. And that's why I love it so much. I like the tone of the album. I like how it's very, like you said earlier, Frank Sinatra bass. I like all the instruments. Everything just is really fucking big, and I really like it. My least favourite, controversial.
LADOT.
It's Impossible Year is my least favourite song.
That is pretty wrong.
Yeah, because it just lacks in energy. It's not a bad song by any means, but it just lacks in energy for me. And I blah, 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 blah. So I turned into the dog barking in the background there for a second.
It's right. I stayed silent and made no input, so Denver could just crop that
Just
out.
crop it out, yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Perfect.
I just
But now
turned
that
into
we've drawn
mid-sentence.
attention to it, so do
But they'll be like, what attention?
you want me to bark so you can dub it back in?
Thanks, Ed.
Just while the whole time Joe's talking. It's like, why did no one ever tell Aiden to shut up while that was happening?
Our mentally disabled friend ruins album review.
But we were too like nice to say anything.
Oh god, that's really funny. Oh, I'm crying. Alright,
Panic
sorry.
at the Disco
Yeah, alright,
is
Joe.
one of those bands for me. If I listen to it too much, I go off it for a long time, and it's a good. I just haven't listened to them in a while, so this has been like a refresher for me, and I think that's why I'm kind of so giddy about it. You know, I just really
Good
like
timing.
You seem so
it. It was definitely was good timing. One thing I will say is it's a band that I've never seen live, and would love to see them live at some point.
I have!
I have as well, but it was before I really liked them.
them, yeah. The next opportunity I get, I'm seeing them live because I really want to. My third
It'll be
favorite.
for whenever. It'll be for the metal album as well, Joe. It'll be perfect.
Fucking
For
perfect. Get in that mosh pit. Whoa. Anyway, third favourite is LA Devotee.
Wait, what was your least favourite?
Impossible Year.
Okay.
Yeah. But my third favourite is LA Devotee. Great hook, great chorus, just great everything. I've noticed that when I usually try and sing along to songs, I can almost do it. But with these songs, they're very hard to sing along to. Because he's very high pitched all the time. So I find myself struggling to sing.
You just have to sing him your own way.
Yes, awfully. My second favourite was Death of a Bachelor. As I said earlier, when I first heard this song years ago, I hated it. Worst song on the album. Fucking amazing now. Always sing along to it. I struggle, but I sing along to it. And it's good.
I like how the dog's still barking and we're not even dubbing it in.
No, I'm dubbing it in anymore.
Stop drawing attention to it.
I know, but
I don't know what to do. I can't really go down there again.
No, you
Just
can't.
gonna kick it.
I'm going to miss
What
out
I
on
like
Joe's
is how
great
serial
review.
killer Will looks right
yeah.
now.
It's quite funny because he's only just turned on his monitor, so we get that light. The whole time it's been sat in darkness.
My favourite.
He's probably just playing Jedi Fallen Order now and just not giving a shit about what...
You will? You wouldn't do
Just-
that, would you?
No,
You wouldn't be watching the football, would you?
I'm not, to be fair.
Why do you
I
keep
am on
looking
the
down
other
at your-
screen, though.
Why do you keep looking down at your phone?
My phone's
All the bitches.
over it.
My favourite!
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Reminds me of Cubes. It puts me in a good mood every time I hear it. It's a bop. It's Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time.
That's fair enough.
It's just such a good song. Always gets me in a good mood. Gets me dancing. Gets me singing.
It's you barking like a dog.
Gets you barking. You know, so good. So in conclusion, best Panic! At the Disco album ever. I love it. We need to see them live.
What I'm looking forward to is when you accidentally rate this lower than what you rated the other one.
Probably will.
Unless it's
Possibly.
good, obviously.
No, and Joe.
Right. Thank you, Joe.
No worries.
Thanks, Joe.
Ratings. 9.5.
8.
9.
9.5.
Ooh.
It's a high one, boys.
Zooey
Oh.
mama.
So no, I almost gave it a 10.
Oh!
It scores
36.5.
36.
Oh!
So it's the second highest rated album.
Whoa! It's higher than the other one.
It's by 0.5 higher than the other one.
Ooh. That's cheeky.
God, I'm surprised. I thought that would score a bit lower, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, because I thought it would have the problem of we'd all heard it too much and it'd be like 8s.
I mean, it does have that problem, realistically.
It does. I was surprised, especially on my review listen when I looked into all the songs. I was like, fucking hell, they're actually all great. Whereas sometimes they would come up in my car and I'm like, I've heard this too much and I'd skip it. But no, it's a fantastic album. Literally, I think if it was just ordered better, I would also give it a 10. But it's just the fact that the worst songs are back to back. It just means that when listening to the album, you just got that, like you get to LA Devotee, Golden Days is solid, and then it's like, and then Impossible Year is not like upbeat, it's a very different vibe to the rest of them. So like once LA Devotee's over, the upbeat, like, go for it dance songs are like done.
Done, yeah.
Will, sorry, you're still not changed out of work uniform. Why?
I'm tired.
It's been hours.
No, he's actually that's tomorrow's uniform. He goes to bed in it so he can get a bit longer in bed.
That's smart. I don't know how to get taller in bed, but...
So, Joe, what's the next album?
The next album, I wanted to pick one that...
It was your choice.
Yeah, thanks. I really enjoyed this. We're going back to a band that I've already picked. Okay.
Okay.
And it's a band that I think all you guys were surprised that it was good. And I've just realised that I've not listened to any of their earlier stuff at all. I've not even touched it. So I'm interested to see if it's good as their newer stuff, considering they haven't brought out any new music. So we're going to do Lower Than Atlantis, World Record.
Wow.
Which came out in 2011. It's quite an old album.
Is this the flipping switch on the generator band?
No.
No,
This
they
is English
did.
Kids in America.
Words don't come so easily. That one.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You sound so thingy. You really liked it.
I just don't like you.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I'm looking forward to this because it was one of those albums that I actually went back and re-listened to and probably would have rated even higher.
So the problem is now is I've got in my head that it's the flip the switch on the generator band and it isn't. So I'm already.
So you're just already disappointed. Because I only gave it a 6.5 before.
Well, this might be awful, because I really liked their old stuff.
It was almost your first 30, Joe.
It was
29.5.
I was aiming for it. I thought it was going to be a 30. I was so disappointed.
I mean, this time it could be.
I mean, it could. Older almost definitely means worse, right?
Probably.
Words Don't
Just
Come
look-
So Easily is still one of my favourite songs.
Words don't
easily. No.
It's
There you
the
go.
only one that anybody knows.
Perfect. Got any closing thoughts, Joe?
Did you know that every time? Sorry, it just got
It's
worse.
a stupid fucking voice.
Did you know that some cats can be allergic to humans?